Hi guys, and welcome to Life, Love, and Gardening. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the things that we have going on here in the garden. All right, so let's get to it. So it's just been pouring down rain for literally about the last 4 days. So I did buy some kiddie pools. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that, and if you can see, they're filled to the brim with water. Okay, so, and it needs some cleanup around here. There's a lot of trash around. I have some kale over here that's growing and getting pretty big. I have some sweet potato vines right in here that I really need to kind of move, but it's the one sweet potato here, and it's all of these vines right here. My fig is getting bigger. This was how big it was, but it kind of all died back. And this is a peach, I believe. A peach tree right here. And this is a mulberry bush right here. But the big mulberry bush or tree died. But before it did, I got a branch off of it and rooted it. And if you can see down here, this is kind of where it's rooting from, right down there. And the mulberry tree is right here. This is the one that it came from, and if you can see how big that is, how big around the trunk was before it died. And you see my wheelbarrow right here. I have this sage. Now when I put this in here, this soil was completely dry, but as I told you, it was pouring down rain, and so this is here, but I need to move it because I don't want it to get root rot. And there are a lot of things that I need to do in the garden. Here's a tomato, and I have way too many tomatoes in one garden bed here, or one tote. And now that I have some more containers, I will be probably repotting these because I have space. I just had so many tomatoes and so many peppers, and I didn't really have any place to put them, so I just put them in here until I can find some more totes. And so this is 2 collard green plants here, and I believe this is champion collards, and so this is as big as my hand. And my tomatoes, they're looking pretty healthy for the most part, and I have some flowers coming on all the tomatoes. There are flowers. These are green beans. They're a little bit green. I haven't been fertilizing them at all, and so I probably need to do something about that. There is a rosemary in here and a marigold. Okay, and my borage is looking so great. It has so many flowers on here that are just kind of waiting to open up. And I transplanted that in here because I needed to plant it up. And a storm came through and it blew everything all over the place. And I was like, some of these things I just really have to plant in some soil so that I don't completely lose everything. This is a tomato. It was ruined, as you can see right here, by an ice storm that we had here early part of May. And this is a petunia, and you see it broke all the way off, and this is just like a stick, like just a stick with no leaves, no anything. And it started, I was like, I'm just gonna leave it, and it started to put on more leaves, and so I just left it. This is a pepper plant. As you can see, it has some little buds coming on. Some more borage flowers down here. They're dropping off. And my zucchini right here. This is the roundy nice. zucchini, and some of them have not been getting fertilized very well. But I think maybe at least a couple have. If you can see right here, this one is nice and green and it's getting bigger. But this one, this is gonna fall off. It wasn't properly fertilized. And so what I did do is I came in through here, and if you can see, I snipped off some of these long leaves here so that I can kind of open up the middle and allow the string beans to get some light. And so now they're putting on some flowers right here, some little pods, and to let my sunflowers kind of shoot up a little bit, because this plant was really lush, really big and lush. And so I don't want this to be the only thing that's nice in here. And these string beans, they're yellow too. They're yellowing up too, but not as bad as the other ones I just showed you. And what's in here? Some more string beans down in there. A marigold that's not getting any light right down there behind this leaf. And again, there are probably too many in here, and that's okay. I will get whatever I can get, and I will be fine with it. But I don't think I'm going to move these. Just the main thing is that when you have a lot of plants planted in a small area like this, as long as you're fertilizing properly, which I typically don't do, but I will be blessed to get plenty of fruit out of here. And I have a lot of things. Here's something else, a mint that I need to pot up right here. And I have, I think, 3 zucchini plants over here. And this is the Cockazel, I believe. Let's see. It's so bright, you can't see that. But that's what that is. Oh, can I put it closer? There we go. And I did move one because they were dying. This was like dying. And I fertilized it with some fish emulsion. But what I did was I went ahead and I planted some more seeds. And so when this would die, then I would already have a healthy one coming up. Well, I did, and it was right beside the main plant. And so I just took it and moved it over here. And these two plants, this plant right here and this one, were the same size. But when I uprooted this one and moved it, it kind of stunted the growth. So this is my rose bush. It's looking a lot better. All the leaves were starting to look like that right there. And then it all kind of died back, and I pulled a lot of the leaves off. And now it's looking nice and lush again. And I'm not going to do a complete tour, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple of things. Don't mind all the trash. Like I said, we've been having tornado warnings, and we had hail this week as well. But this is a grape right here, so that's new, and I will go more into detail about these in another day. But that is the Carlos Scuppernong. Then I have some, this is also a grape right here. I'm gonna see if this will come through or not, but this is a Cowart muscadine, and then I also have a Noble muscadine in here, and I just wanted to get it planted because I didn't want them to die. And so I'll see how those do. This is my Swiss chard, which I love. It's one of the things that you can kind of plant in your garden, and you don't have to worry about a lot of pests. Back here, this is a fava bean, and it's looking kind of weak, but I do have some bean pods on here. My dog, my rescue dog, he keeps coming through here and snatching all my gladiolus leaves out. So they were doing well, but he keeps coming through and breaking them. Let's see. I have some more zucchini, not zucchini, but asparagus popping up in here. This, if you haven't washed it already, this is a container that I planted asparagus in, and I forgot to drill the holes, and so I just came back over here on the bottom half, and I did drill some holes on it to relieve some of that water that was standing in there. Oh, and this is another rose bush that my family got me for Mother's Day, right here, and that's the True Love rose. All right, and I have a bunch of stuff that needs to be planted. Those onions, oh, those terrible onions. And then I have all kind of stuff in here that I need to plant up. Look, 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 look. All kinds of stuff that I just need to plant up. I just have things all over the place trying to get organized. Oh, but look at this. I think this is my lemon. Is this my lemon? Yes, this is the improved Meyer lemon. And so I have some little lemon buds coming on. And this is the lime right here. Let's see. And this is 4 tomato plants right here. And it is a mess. And I believe this is the Super Sweet 100. This one right here. They're really healthy. Really healthy. Putting on lots of flowers. But it's just too many in here. And these tend to get really pretty big. And then I have a German chamomile in the middle, which is some flowers that I need to come and pick off. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning. And this is right here. These two are the Paul Robeson over here. And they all have flowers on them as well. Some onions in the middle. Starting to get a nice little bulb on it. And another tomato, and this is Goddess of the Moon right here, and they look healthy. Everything's looking healthy. Just putting on some flowers. Then I have, oh, this is one. This is mullein, and I believe this is stew pice, if I'm not mistaken. But if you saw this in person, it just looks so good. It looks so good in person. It's so green. It's like potato like leaves on them, and it does have some flowers. Turn my light off. And I have 2 tomato plants over here. What is this? Sun gold over here. What is this? Alkufa over here, which this broke completely off, and it's growing back really nicely. And this is a yarrow. This plant in the middle right here is a yarrow, and this is feverfew right here. Both good for colds and flus and things like that. This is another tomato plant. Like I said, that's the Alkufa. And I can't remember if this one is Alkufa as well. Is that one the Rosella? And then I have some radish down here that I need to come in and get and replant up. Oh, a really big one right there, so it's gonna be pretty spicy. Okay, and my potatoes right here, which in a minute I'm gonna need to add some more soil in here. You know, things are typically looking pretty good, and then we get a storm, an ice storm out of nowhere in May, and it's a caterpillar in here somewhere, because these did not look like this yesterday. Look at this little Neapolitan pepper right here. Little Neapolitan pepper. This was Struggle City right here. This is Yellow Doll. It's one of those neglected watermelon plants that I just really needed to put out here and try to save, and I'm not sure that I saved it at all. This is supposed to be another Neapolitan. This is I think a homemade pickle, and it's looking better because just earlier this week it was only like that big, if you can see, only about this tall right here. And now it's put on these since it's been raining every single day, but all the rain has also brought plenty of caterpillars. This is a zinnia, and this is a thyme, I believe. No, catmint. My thyme, I think, died. This is another yarrow, but this one is not doing too well. I think it's this bed because everything in here does not look good at all. Poudre Fée. This is what this tomato plant is, and as you can see, I'm gonna have to pot everything in here or repot everything in here with some new soil because this bed is not looking good. And so I planted up all of these on different days at different times using different soils and things. And so you can kind of see the beds that are doing really well with good soil and good drainage and good nutrients. And then you can see the ones that aren't doing too well. This one is doing okay, but not really. And these over here, I've kind of planted them all up at the same time, and all of these are not doing well. And I planted them within days of the ones over here. And you see these are lush and beautiful. And these are Struggle City because I planted this Moor's Head and collared up the same time that I planted, let me show you again, this Champion Collard. And look how big this is in comparison. So that tells me that something over here to my left is not, something's not right. Because like I said, so sometimes I would have run out of certain amendments or certain soils, and I would just say, let me just plant them here. And so I'm missing some kind of nutrients or some kind of drainage from one container to the other. Okay, and another good thing, look at my sunchokes. They were so small last week. They were like half this size last week, and look at them. They're getting so big. I had some stuff growing down in there. I'm not sure if it's gonna grow. I was not expecting these to get so big so fast. Lordy. But as you see my table, I have so much stuff I need to get planted. I have a lot of lemongrass that I need to plant. I need to plant this raspberry in a different pot. I have some stuff here that I need to plant up. A lot of kale, not kale, but do I have some kale in here? Yes, I do. I was looking at this when I said kale. I was looking at the flower, not the flower, but the leaves, and I was like, that looks like kale. But I have some kale over here and lots of lettuce and sweet alyssum and a couple of tomatoes that I really want to get planted up, and certain things that died, because of the ice storm. So this is a marigold. What kind is this? French double dwarf marigold. I maybe need to go ahead and plant those up too. Then I have some lemon balm. Look at my cabbage. I think this is a Katrina cabbage right here. And that's a mint back there, right here. And this is a geranium. This got tore up by the storm, as you can see, because it's the same geranium as this one, but this one looks a lot better. it didn't get hit as hard because of where I had it. So I have a lot of stuff I have to plant up. And my table over here of things that I need to plant up and things that are not going to grow because the storm kind of knocked all of my soil and seeds out of there. It broke a lot of my pots. This is a yarrow that I need to plant up. What is this? Mexican mint. Mexican mint. What is this back here? Tobago seasoning. I'm so happy about this horseradish though. I really need to get this planted up. Yep, look at the roots coming out of the bottom. Feverfew. I know that this is pak choi here, or yeah, bopak choi right here. And so there are a lot of things that I need to do in this garden. And it's just too much stuff for me to go over right now. But one exciting thing that I want to show you guys that I'm so happy about. And so let me show you. Do you see all of these containers I have? All of these pots. Look how big that is. Look. I went and I picked these up. The plant that was in there was $369. And so these are the pots that the big trees were in right here. And so now I have more containers and I can plant up more things and repot up some of my bigger things and maybe plant more like tomatoes and a lot more potatoes and sweet potatoes. And I even have some of these pots here. Then I have some smaller pots so that I can have flowers throughout the garden. Ooh, this had a citrus plant in it right here for $39. So these are 1 gallon pots. And I think these are maybe 3 gallon, 2 or 3 gallon, maybe 2 gallon pots right here. And then I have this nice size pot. This may be a 3 gallon. And this may be a 2 gallon. See the size difference? Let me show you. No, they're about the, yeah, it's a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. Let me show you. Because on the camera it doesn't look like it, but as you can see, it's a little bit smaller. So these are maybe 2 gallon right here. This may be like a 3 or 4 gallon right here. But I'm just most happy with having these big pots right here. And so now I have more containers and I can plant up more things, and I don't have to just let things die. Oh, my pup is coming through here and he's breaking all of my marigolds. I have to move him. He comes through here and he just runs through this stuff and bites it off because he's a puppy and he's teething. What is this? This is a I can't remember what this is. I have to think about it. I cannot remember what that is. It's not a good. I think it's a jostaberry. I believe it's a jostaberry. I'm not sure. I don't want to tell you a story. But I have a lot of stuff I just need to plant. I got these for Mother's Day as well. Did you see that moth just fly up out of there? Sun patience. That's what that is. Yep. Okay, so that's what we have going on here. Lots of growth, lots of things to plant up, lots of things to repot. Oh, look at my ginger. Look at that. I'm glad to see that. But really, it's just a mess because the wind and the storms and the hail. Another asparagus bed right here. I don't know if you saw that in passing. And this is Karma right here. This is Karma. This is Purple Karma barley. And I know it probably shouldn't be planted like this, but it was dying. So I just put it in the dirt. Put it in the ground. Put it in the soil. Not in the ground, but in the soil. In a container. So what is this growing up? Probably a marigold. Because I just take it when the flower dies back. I just take it and I spread it in here. And so that's what you're seeing. These are little marigolds that are popping up all over the place, which is kind of what I wanted. Oh, these are two right beside each other. Okay. All right, guys. So I just wanted to check in with you guys after this heavy storm that we had today and show you some things that have kind of brightened up my day despite the storm, which is always pretty good as long as it's not breaking everything up. You want that rain to revitalize all of your plants, and that's what we have going on. So what I plan to do is I do plan to come in here and reorganize and get rid of some of the bags and boxes and things are just kind of lying around. As soon as I get more soil, more compost, then I will be out here planting again. Oh, and another thing. It's always one more thing, right? Another thing, what made me say that is I saw the pool in the back here. That's the other thing I wanted to show you guys. I have some kiddie pools, and they were about $6, maybe $7. And so I plan to plant definitely probably some sweet potatoes in here. And the puppy, he's been jumping in and out of this one with the cardboard. He carried that cardboard into that swimming pool by himself, and he's been jumping in and out of there. He will come, run, and dive in there, and then shoot off back through the yard. So I'm going to leave that one here the longest. But I have kiddie pools to plant in, so I'm happy about that. Kiddie pools, and then my big containers. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about these. I was on my way home. I was going to stop by one of the stores that I really like to go to, Aldi's, and then I was like, let me stop by the garden center, my local garden center, which I love. They have the best prices on plants. And I said, you know what? Let me just ask. So you guys, if you have a question, you're not sure, you don't know, just ask. Because sometimes you ask and you shall receive. Because I got these here and I'm so happy about it. I was like, my husband, he's like, what are you doing? I thought you were at Aldi's. I'm like, no, I'm at the garden center getting some pots. And so I'm really happy. It may not be translating in this video how happy I am. But let me tell you, I'm so happy about these big pots and these kiddie pools. Oh, I'm so happy about them. And so you guys just stay tuned. And we're going to see what's going to happen here. We're going to work through all of this. We're going to get this garden area nice and put together. Oh, and it's going to be such a blessing. It is. It's going to bless my heart. Thank you guys for joining. See you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you guys in the next one. Bye.